welcome to the Cozy Winter vlog. I have not done one of these in a hot minute. I haven't really done a reading vlog in a while. This one definitely goes beyond reading. This is definitely more of like a winter cozy vlog, but we're going to be doing some reading. But really, I feel like my life has been going through so many different changes right now, and since winter's coming up and I'm really excited about it, I just decided I'm going to jump on the bandwagon and just embrace Christmas, embrace the winter season, starting with today. I already went on a nice little walk this morning with my puppy, and I actually listened to an audiobook this morning. I'm currently rereading the Harry Potters, so that was a nice chill way to start the morning, but now I'm ready to hit up Barnes & Noble's to pick up a book that I have been dying to read for about a year now, and then we're going to go to one of my favorite coffee shops in this area, enjoy a seasonal latte, and crank out as much of this book as possible. I'm already at the coffee shop, but let's flash back to everything that's happened up until this point. We went to Barnes & Noble's and immediately found Holly. Of course, it was right next to the rest of the trilogy where it was from. And then, of course, we did walk around a little bit. I found a couple books that I was really tempted to pick up. A book that I've been hearing about all over TikTok, but I decided today was not the day. And then another book that honestly, I was just caught by the cover and the design on the side. I absolutely loved it. However, did not buy that today. Then when I got to the checkout, there was a lot of really cute like merch and like fun Christmas stuff. But of course I refrained and we walked out of there only with the book that we went in for. Honestly, it is so shocking to me that I walked out of there only with the one thing I went in planning to buy. That doesn't happen these days. Okay, so first of all, I'm obsessed with the cover, but I was bad and I did a sneak peek of what this book looks like. And tell me this book is not stunning. It said that the holly sprig has long been used to ward off evil spirits. I love the foreshadowing there. Also, there is, of course, some really beautiful designs in the inside cover, which I love from a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. It kind of reminds me of my copy of Wisteria, which is the third book in the trilogy. I have the first two books in paperback, and this is making me want to get the exclusive editions of books 1 and 2 as well, which I hate buying books that I already own just to have them all in the same edition. However, I'm really tempted, not gonna lie. Then we came to one of my favorite coffee shops in this local area and got some lattes and this crumb cake that was absolutely phenomenal. I demolished it in seconds. But I must say, this is one of the cutest little coffee shops. I love walking around here and seeing all the little things that they have available. Literally so cute. I'm obsessed with everything here. I could walk around forever. Half of the place is shut down due to construction, sadly. Also, if you hear a lot of noise in the background, one, it's because this place is crazy busy right now. And two, it's because of the construction going on in the back. So I can't show you everything at this coffee shop that it has to offer, but don't worry. I will be coming back here for more reading sessions because I forgot how much I loved visiting this place when I came to visit family in town. As for now, though, we are just going to finish our latte. Cinnamon brown sugar, of course. They don't have Christmas drinks yet. They still have their fall drinks, which I guess, like, to each their own. But they are playing Christmas music here. So, you know, big a holiday. I am going to crank this out while Sebastian studies. He's studying for his NBC OT, which is the big test that he has to take so he can actually start his career as an occupational therapist. That being said, I'm going to get to reading and see how we feel about this book. Now, one of the first things that surprised me when I opened this book was how few words were actually on each page. And because of that, I absolutely flew through the book. I read 75% of it. Obviously, I took a lot of breaks here and there because I was with the love of my life. So naturally, we paused to talk every once in a while. But honestly, this book is so good. It has the perfect amount of like Christmas nostalgia, but still feels very true to the original Belladonna trilogy. Because I feel like sometimes Christmas novellas just feel like a total Hallmark movie made into a book that just happens to have characters with the same names of the trilogy it's supposed to be a part of or the series it's supposed to be a part of. This is not that case. It genuinely feels so true to the actual characters, and I'm absolutely eating it up. Another really fun detail about this book, the bow at the top, I thought was just like a fun, cute detail. There is like a wreath that grows down along the pages as you go through the book. So I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. I also am really enjoying the art. I feel like the art actually depicts what's happening in the book really well and makes it a really fun way to visualize things. So I am beyond happy about that. The next thing I would have done was Christmas nails. However, my lavender nails with the navy blue polka dots are actually holding up just fine, and I don't want to strip off these nails before they've done their time. However, I did go ahead and pick an inspiration pick on my way home from the coffee shop. This is what I plan to do on my nails next. And I have all the stuff for it, and I'm so excited to try this nail art. However, I'm gonna have to wait like at least a week or two more until I can do it, until these start, becoming a problem. I also really wanted to bake a wintry, fun, Christmassy treat that we can enjoy when we watch a Christmas movie or play a board game tonight. We're still not really sure what we're doing. I think we're gonna watch a Christmas movie or like a really wintry movie. I think that's more the direction I'm vibing in right now. It would be kind of nice to just like turn off my brain for a little bit, I think. But usually I make a Christmas coffee cake when we decorate for Christmas. And yes, we will be decorating tonight. However, I literally just made coffee cake not too long ago. Something I am, however, very obsessed with right now is homemade bagels. Yes, put me in Prada and call me Nara Smith. I am making homemade bagels these days, and it is the best thing ever. It brings me so much joy. And I love trying new flavors every single time I make them. So we're going to be making everything bagels in some sort of like French toast cinnamon bagel of sorts. So we're going to have like a sweet and a savory bagel. Now, I already did the first half. It is insanely easy. You literally just like have the dry ingredients and then the yeast, sugar, and water mixture, and then you add it all together. And then once it's thoroughly mixed, you then put it in a well-oiled bowl, and now I'm leaving it to rise in the oven for the next hour. So yeah, that was the easiest thing ever. And I think we're gonna go ahead and finish Holly because I've been dying to get my hands back on it since I got home. And then once I'm done with the book, we can finish up the fun part of the bagels, which of course is shaping them and boiling them. And if you did not know, yes, you actually boil bagels. I don't really understand it fully, but I know that it's delicious and I'm not complaining. So then we'll make bagels and then we are going to decorate. Now, some of y'all may be confused because I clearly don't live here. Those who follow me on TikTok have a better understanding of the situation, I think, than those who just follow me on YouTube. Basically, my husband's education has dragged us all over the place. We were going to be here just for 3 months, and my parents were very kind to let us stay at their place and camp out here for 3 months while we lived here. However, I have gotten a job here, and my husband, fingers crossed, hopefully, will be very soon having a job here. And that being said, it looks like we're going to be staying in North Carolina, so we will be getting our own place soon. However, probably not to get that place soon enough to decorate our own place for Christmas. So my parents were very kind and have agreed to let us decorate their Christmas tree, which is amazing because me and Sebastian love decorating for Christmas, and we were really bummed that we weren't going to get like our own tree and our own place to decorate this year. And we're just going to have a nice, cozy Christmas night, and I could not be more excited about this. I have been in the Christmas mood, but I've been resisting it, but Halloween has passed, so we are fully embracing it now. I've been listening to Christmas music all day. I've been reading this Holly book all day. It's phenomenal. Now, before I pick up Holly and finish it, let me give a couple thoughts. First of all, if you have read the Belladonna trilogy, immediately go pick this up this season. This book is phenomenal. I'm absolutely flying through it. It's so fun and lighthearted, but still has that kind of gothic fantasy feel that the original trilogy has. If you have not read the Belladonna trilogy and you're like, Ruby, what's that? It is a good trilogy. I ran across this trilogy on accident doing the ABC Reading Challenge, and I read all 3 books. So the ABC Reading Challenge was I read 26 books, all the titles of which started from A to Z in alphabetical order. And for book B, I read Belladonna, which was the first book in the series. And then when I got to book F, I couldn't stop thinking about Belladonna, so I read Foxglove, which was the second book in the series. And then conveniently, I think it was literally the same exact week that I got to the letter W, the last book, Wisteria, came out. So I read that, and I didn't think I could love Wisteria more than I liked Belladonna and Foxglove, but Wisteria was literally like the bow on the trilogy. It was perfect. I had to sadly accept at that point that it was over. Like, that was the end. You know, it was the end of the trilogy. But then this came out, and this is a Christmas novella, and it wraps everything up in a beautiful Christmassy red bow. There are two major couples that result from the main trilogy, and we get to see them like all spending a Christmas together. And it's cool to see the relationships so many years later. So that's been really fun. I've been really enjoying it. I honestly, reading this book has made me want to reread the trilogy, which is crazy because it hasn't even been 2 years since I read them for the first time. I think that says a lot about a novella. I personally read a holiday novella last year that was based off of one of my most favorite trilogies of all time. And although it was good for a Christmas novella, it was like an okay book. Not only is this good for a Christmas novella, but it's actually a really, really, really good book. I will say my one last ditch effort to get you to read this book is that, in my opinion, with the exception of maybe pacing, I feel like this is a little bit more slow paced. These books very closely, in my opinion, resemble how I would imagine a darker version of Stephanie Garber books to be. So that's the Caraval trilogy. That's maybe not Once Upon a Broken Heart, but like along those lines of like descriptive writing. If you want to fall in love with the descriptive writing and really immersive, fantastical worlds, I do really think this is a really good trilogy for you. Although I will say no one matches Stephanie Garber's pacing abilities. She's insane for that. This, however, is a good bit slower. I do remember actually struggling at the beginning of Belladonna because the beginning was slow. However, it really did pay off, in my opinion, as you went in through the series. So with the exception of pacing, I would compare Adeline Grace's Belladonna series to that of a Stephanie Garber book. So if you do love Stephanie Garber, I would highly recommend you try Belladonna, especially if you like Stephanie Garber, but you want something a little bit moodier and darker and eerier. I don't know if any of what I just said was actual real words you could find in a dictionary, but I think you get the idea. You should read the Belladonna trilogy and, of course, Holly. All right, let's crank out the rest of this book. I will give final thoughts, and then we can continue with our fun Christmassy night. I absolutely flew through the last bit of this book because it was just that good. I am 100% giving this 5 stars in Goodreads because for a Christmas novella, it might be the best Christmas novella I've ever read. However, I will say, I officially have beef with Adeline Grace. Adeline, I had one grievance with Wisteria, okay? Only one. Only one. And I get grievances with books very easily, so that is saying a lot. The only grievance that I had is that you teased an epic plot line, did not tie up that loose thread and left it hanging. And then I was just supposed to move on knowing that that was the last book and there would not be a 4th book to continue. Honestly, if you had told me there was a 4th book and she was teasing the plot line of the 4th book in Wisteria, I 100% would have believed you. I think it would have made a great 4th book. I thought potentially maybe when I heard Holly was going to come out that we were going to address that plot line. I got 75% of the way through and it never came up once. So I was like, you know what? That's fine. I'm over it. That was a year ago now. However, it was addressed at the very, very end. And I was like, hold on. Are we going to solve this problem? Finally, you know, like maybe I will get some resolution on this plot line. Not only did we not get resolution on that plot line, but in literally like the last sentence of this book, they drop what would have been the craziest cliffhanger for next book in the series. And then immediately in the acknowledgements, she says that this is the last book in the series. So I'm sorry. I need more of this world. And there are 2 plot lines now that Adeline Grace has hinted at that she is never going to satisfy. Or I guess never say never. She said Wisteria was the last book and then she decided to make this. So there is an opportunity, I suppose, that she could create a 4th book. And if you're including the novella, a 5th book, right? So there's still opportunity and chance for that. However, I personally hate the idea that the book is going to end on a cliffhanger and there's literally no book coming after it. Ever. She's already working on her next book, The Wretched Divine, which I'm very excited to read when it comes out next year. However, if that means I'm not going to get any resolution on this plotline in this series, I'm a little upset. I might hold that grudge for a little bit. I would like coffee with Adeline Grace. I would like to pick her brain. I would like to have those loose threads tied up in my head. Thank you. That's all. Needless to say, it's a really good book. I'm giving it 5 stars. I get that there's like an artistic spin on the fact that we don't fully get resolution and it's like up to your imagination, but I don't want this up to my imagination. I want to see what Adeline Grace would have done. What was the plot line that she was thinking of when she hinted this cliffhanger? Because I'm sure she thought of something, okay? She didn't just do that for funsies, or maybe she did and she's mean. That would be crazy. But it's possible, I guess. Anyways, we are officially done with the reading segment of this video, and we are going to finish baking our bagels. Honestly, now it's just the fun part. We get to shape them, boil them for 1 minute on each side, put on all the fun toppings, and then pop them in the oven. It is really the easiest thing ever.
Enough to know it's winter, perfect time to say our first hello.
After we finished decorating the tree, we enjoyed some of the bagels. Now, me and Mom tried the cinnamon ones. They were so good. Honestly, it was kind of like a cinnamon roll, but without the frosting, which I wasn't complaining about. It was like the perfect sweet treat. And Sebastian tried one of the everything bagels, and then we watched The Grinch. Something about that movie always tickles me. And Sebastian had to leave halfway through because he does have work tomorrow morning. But me and Mom finished out the movie. And that is the end of a cozy Christmas day. I feel like this day flew by really fast, but I'm really happy with every minute of it, and I honestly had a great time. So if you enjoy some of these more like seasonal stuff, I have done a lot of winter themed, Christmas themed videos in the past. You should definitely go check those out, and of course you should subscribe so you get notified whenever I post a brand new video. And you need to go check out Holly by Adeline Grace this Christmas.